Smartphones are great until they break. Your normal smartphone, if you drop it, is just gone. It's another story with Cat phones. They're like totally robust, and if you drop them, they are likely to be still alive. We are here with Cat phones, so please just quickly introduce yourself.
I'm Klaus Seibold. I'm working for Bullet Group. We do the Cat phones, and I'm running sales.
Okay, so every time at IFA, companies announce new products, so did Cat. So please, tell me something about your new device.
So we're coming out with two new devices actually. One is the S40, which is our this is the one. Our high-end smartphone with all the latest and greatest feature set. And the other one is the S30, which is basically a small brother of this one. They're available now, both of them. Mm-hmm. This one started in August, this one's now available in September.
So what exactly is the philosophy behind Cat phones?
Actually, it's pretty simple. We don't want to be everything for everybody. So we want to be something that's rugged for people who are out there, either because of their job or because of their sports. So it's outdoor sports, any type, skiing, rafting, biking, hiking, whatever it is, we'd have the type of device that would go with that. And the other thing is, if you get people who would use a device like that for work, these would be people in construction. That would be people who would go out in forests. That would be people who'd have any kind of handicrafting type of a profession. That's what we do.
So I learned, because a college student of mine has a Cat phone too, his display is like ultra high. It has the highest resolution, but it's so bright he just can still read texts while I can't. Yeah. So what's the story behind that?
It's actually one of the key things. So if you build something that is for robust outdoor, your specification needs to adapt to that. So you think about some of the key things that is important for these type of people. Bright display is definitely one of them, because you're fighting against sunlight. And the display would need to come up to higher standards. And we are building into those two devices, we're building 500 nits and 600 nits displays. To compare that, a standard smartphone would be around 200 to 400 nits. So we're way higher on that. The next thing is that you want to have certified drop heights that are to the level as the two of us, right? Okay. You want to be able to use the phone, and if it drops, it's not an issue. So you need drop heights of like 1.80 meters. There's some of these cheaper devices out there with drop heights of 1.20 meters. And I'm kind of looking at that, well, how do I do that? So these are things that are really important. Next thing is battery. You want to have a really strong battery. Now, why is that important? Well, people are outside. There's no sockets. There's no mains at a tree. So you want to make sure that whatever's put in here really helps you to go at least through 1 day, ideally 2 days. So we took in a 3,000 milliamps battery in both of those devices, and that then also works well with the bright display, because obviously display is one of the key things that is kind of taking the energy out of the battery.
Actually, I would love such a bright display on my daily device.
Maybe I'll make you an offer you cannot resist. How about that?
So you said it's like for the people who are out there.
Yeah.
Do you think you have customers who use it as a daily phone without being on a working place or stuff?
We do. I would say that we have a set of devices that gets used a lot as second device, but also a lot of people who would say, you know what, it's so robust, so great, I'll just keep on using it. Especially the S40 that you're holding is something that also design-wise is very appealing to people. So this one goes on the table as well, and is a bit of a statement of I'm rough and tough as well.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. It doesn't look like a bulky device you would be ashamed of getting out of your things, and it really good, looks good, and it feels good because the edges are like totally soft and you can just hold it in your hands and it's good.
Correct. Now, something I would also like to highlight is that design is one thing, The next thing is the practicality around it. So you still want to have the shock absorption, all these kind of things, but then there's little things that really help you in life. And let me show you, this is one of these things.
Okay.
You would find a number of devices out there that would say, I'm certified to be waterproof, to go underwater for half an hour or an hour in 1 meter depth. It's all fine and good. However, if you're out there, it doesn't fall into clean water. It usually falls into mud. So what happens next is that dirt goes into that unless you have a cover on top. So you put the covers on there, despite the fact that we actually have connectors that are waterproof themselves. And these are not major investments maybe, but very practical things that you need in life to have a phone that you can properly use. Because if it's wet, it also means that the connector indicates to the phone, I'm actually having an earphone connector and you cannot use it as a phone anymore.
Yeah, that would suck.
Next thing is that you would need to have a device that has usability when it's wet. Next thing is that you want to have usability when you use it with gloves. So all these things are built in here, and we're not going for a cheap type of a solution, but a proper solution so that you have a real rugged device that you can use on a daily basis.
That sounds good.
That's what you get.
So you said it's not only waterproof, but I can use it underwater if the display is wet.
Correct.
So I think we just should try that out.
All right.
We got water, and we got a place where we can drop the water. Yeah, it's really hot, but let's start the camera. And the camera is launching. I take a picture of like the table. It's still focusing, and I just can use it. I'm switching to front-facing camera, so let's take a selfie. Camera is like a bit wet, but that's no problem. And you can see we can still do all these things. So Cat is very proud of their products, and they are not afraid of holding their promises, as I heard. So after we did this water test, what's the maximal height I can drop that?
Certified 1.80 meters.
1.80 meters. Like here?
Like here.
Okay. Should we drop it on the back or on the display?
It's certified for any angle.
Okay, so we're going for the display. I'm really a bit scared because normally...
Come on!
Okay.
Here you go.
Alright. And it's still working?
Yeah.
No crash, nothing. So we're just going to drop it on the back one more time. Whoa. And
I think the sound effect was great.
Yes. I hope our mics got that. So it's still running, it's up and running. No problem so far. Great. So they're feature loaded. I can drop them, I can use them if my fingers are wet, if the display is wet. What's the price point?
Okay. So I told you earlier the S40, S30 are the two ones that we just announced. Available now. The S30 retails at €329 and the S40 retails at €429.
That's fair.
That's what you get. Fair, good price. And by the way, it also uses the latest versions of Android and stuff like that.
That's nice. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you very much so that we can drop that.
There you go.
We will take a closer look to these phones later on. So please be sure to subscribe to our channels here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Instagram. My name is Timon for nerdbench.com and ITX Tutor.
Does it work now?
Oh, sorry. Darauf war ich gar nicht vorbereitet.
Hey, ich hab's gesagt, das ist
ja, ich habe daran nicht gedacht, das ist ja dann über meine Hand. Oh.